Rock and roll. Oh, I remember those days when you didn't have to worry about the big things. You just worried about it's all about the nookie. Now those days are gone, long gone. But here we are. We're in a world that is flipped upside down, but is being slowly turned back up. I mean, we almost sank, people. Think about that. As a country, we almost sank. Now, we're still taking on water, don't get me wrong, but we're plugging them holes. We're filling them up. We got a man that knows how to fix a ship. And I am so enjoying this week. This is a good week. I don't know how many people think it is or isn't. It is astonishing to me to see this fake outrage of all these Democratic politicians about all these moves that President Trump is making for the betterment of the people. And they're angry about it. They're pissed off. What kind of politician is that? Y'all better remember that. When it comes midterms, think about all these people that are getting out there, all these Democrats that are whining and complaining about the methods of President Trump. Not about the results, just about the method. What's up, Carl? How you doing, brother? Yeah, Tyler. Thank you. Gayest stream on the web. I appreciate that. I really do. But Tyler, you are a special friend to me. You always will be. Even though we got to stop it where it's at. We can't go no further because we both are in different relationships, but it's okay. You're still my friend. Saying that, let's get back to politics. I had to say that about my special friend Tyler, who's in the chat room. Appreciate that. Thank y'all for coming in. It's been a few days since I've live streamed during the week. I've been busy doing other stuff. I apologize, but here I am today, and we're back. The first thing I want to talk about is because I've not been on here for about a week, so some of this stuff has already been talked over time and time again, but I just want to skim over a few things. This deal with the the white African farmers that are their properties being seized, they're being tortured. Some cases they've been raped and even murdered. And yet the Democrats are making such a big deal about President Trump offering them refugee status. If any case that is before us of all these people come across the southern border that try to claim refugee status, this is a outright definition of what refugee status is all about. You got an entire government, their party in charge over there, has basically claimed genocide on any property owner that is white. They're making it to where if you're white in Africa, you're not allowed to own anything anymore. Some of them people's been there since 1652, so they're just as much African as anybody else. Uh, some say it's payback from the apartheid times, and it could be, but you think they want to do better than the previous people, but apparently not. So it just proves that they're no better than anybody else. Once they get power, they want to control the minority masses. They want to crush them. So it's a true definition of what refugee status is all about. These people, there is evidence, real evidence of this happening to these people. And then you get people like some young lady on CNN claiming that these are white people. Instead of coming to America for refugee status, they need to go back to Europe where they came from. As I said, some of these people have been there since 1652. Europe is not their home. Africa is. Hey, Andy. What are you crawling around the attic for, brother? Oh, wasp nest. I get it. Whew. Yeah, that ain't no good. Hope you didn't get stung. So, I am 100% supportive of these people coming to our country under refugee status. I think it, like I said, it is a true definition of what it means, what it's there for, and hopefully we can help them out. And we need to put sanctions against South Africa for doing this. I don't know what they actually create or manufacture that's exported or anything, or what kind of sanctions we could put on them, because I don't know much about it. I'm not an expert, obviously, about South Africa, but I'm sure there's some kind of financial pain we can impose upon them for their wicked, evil, racist ways. If you don't agree with that, well, I don't really give a shit. So I seen James O'Keefe brought out another little clip. He's doing these in little small clippets. He's saying he's got this massive story, and he's doing these little small clippets. I don't know if you've seen this latest one. I'm going to play it real quick. Apparently, he has images. I haven't seen it all. Inside Epstein's mansion on Pedophile Island that's never been seen before. So let's watch that. Let me bring it up and watch that. Let's talk about that for a minute. All right, Dave, gotcha. So South Africa has a lot of resources that the rest of the world wants. I do believe you're right. Like I do believe a lot of diamonds come from there or something. So the jewels of the world, I guess a lot of it is mined out of there. So yeah, I mean I know we can do something to them. I get it, and like I said, I just don't know everything that they do that's of value to the rest of the world. And in my opinion, diamonds don't mean shit to me unless you got it on the tip of a blade and you're cutting with it. Wearing it on your finger don't mean crap to me. To me, it's a waste of a good stone. All right, Carl, I get it. America first, fuck Africa. We're talking about saving lives here. These people are truly targeted by their own government for annihilation. They're not just coming across the southern border because we have a better economy, and yet they want to claim refugee status because uh, they had a relative that was a member of some gang, and they were worried about the gangs coming after them because they want to leave the gang. Nothing like that whatsoever. This is a true reason why we have refugee status, and it's created to save lives. True, Carl. With the Biden administration, nobody came to our rescue. No, but we fought back. We pushed back. We took the hits, but we kept punching back. But we're larger in number than, say, the people that are dealing with what they're dealing with over in Africa. Yeah, Carl, you're not heartless. You're passionate, and I get it. You want to focus on America just like the rest of us do, but I want to focus on anything that the Democrats have a problem with. Generally means that there's something good that they don't want to see happen because they are so anti-good, it's unreal. They are the most evil people I've ever seen. Um, let, I'll get to the O'Keefe thing here in a minute. Let's take the politicians that threw down with the ICE agents there at that ICE facility. And then that Hakeem Jeffries getting on there talking about there's a red line. You don't arrest politicians for protesting. That's not what they were doing. They were violent. Plenty of video to prove that. But yet they say that Hakeem Jeffries said that if Trump has the DOJ charge and arrest them for that he'll pay for it. How? You want to talk shit, Hakeem Jeffries? How? What the fuck you gonna do about it? You ain't no badass. If Trump wants to get these people arrested, they are definitely enough video evidence to prove their guilt. Thought nobody was above the law, you piece of shit. No, I know what it is. Rules for thee and not for me. Well, that motto, whatever you want to call it, is done with. You're dealing with MAGA now. And MAGA tells you to go get fucked. These people broke the law. These people are going to get charged. They're going to get arrested. And they better get some kind of deal because they hit federal agents, which is not just a misdemeanor, by the way. So they better not just get a slap on the wrist. So, Hakeem Jeffries, my message is to you, and I'm nobody, but in case somebody shows you this clip, fuck you. What are you going to do? Don't just say there'll be consequences. What are the consequences, you dumb bitch? Because if I tell you there's going to be consequences, I'm going to tell you what the consequences are. Because I'm dumb. I want you to know what's going to happen to you and who's going to do it to you. Because I want to look you in the eye when I do it. You guys are a bunch of fucking cowards. Consequences. Pieces of shit. Sorry about that. Got off on a rant. Those politicians are going to get charged. They're going to get arrested. They're going to get everything they deserve. Just like those judges. They're coming to the Democrats are coming to the aids of these judges that broke the law. Well, we've seen where the one female judge, I can't think of her name right now, that stopped the court proceedings and escorted the illegal alien out the back door, which he eventually got caught. But she's going to be doing some time, it looks like. Now, they claim that there's going to be consequences if the DOJ does something to those judges. Well, it's starting to happen. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now, I know you can do a lot if we lose the midterms. If we lose the midterms, it's our fault. Punch away. I deserve an ass beating if we lose the midterms. It is what it is. But right now, fuck you. So back to the James O'Keefe story. So the first one we seen is where the Prince Andrews, one of his personal aides, in a, I'd say, drunken conversation with a young lady, explaining how all those allegations against Prince Andrews is true. So, but that's something we always, I don't know about you guys, but I never thought it wasn't true. I always thought it was exactly what it was. And because he comes from a powerful family, nothing happened to him at the time. And of course, the witness in that particular case has committed suicide. There's a lot of suicide being committed in this country lately. Have you noticed that? Strange. So, anyways, let me bring up the video of his latest installment. See if I can find it here.
Keith Media is releasing never-before-seen footage from inside the buildings on Jeffrey Epstein's island. The island, known as Little St. James, is located in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Drones have flown overhead in the past, independent journalists have snuck ashore, but no footage or images from inside these buildings has ever been published until now. This footage was captured about a year after Epstein's arrest. In this world-exclusive O'Keefe Media Group takes you through the kitchen inside the main mansion, a villa used for hosting high-profile visitors and events. Through our reporting, we can confirm this footage is authentic. You'll see the entire kitchen is a sterile white with stainless steel appliances. There are sparse decorations, including a few pieces of coral, but there does appear one prominent artwork, a large framed photo of a nude baby in a sink. The baby is holding a phallic-shaped object. The image is hung above the kitchen table. It begs the question, why did Jeffrey Epstein choose to place this image inside of a kitchen where visitors would eat, cook, and entertain? The publication of this footage comes on the heels of our report last week of a royal fixer admitting Prince Andrew had sex with underage girls.
Underage girls. That's not cool.
And also after a report last week on Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Yeah, and it's all with little kids.
Since those reports aired, we've received an uptick in outreach and tips, and we've heard from these sources that they don't trust anybody due to the lack of transparency and accountability in the United States government. We increasingly find ourselves in a circumstance where none of the criminals in the most powerful institutions in America are held to account for anything. And yet I report to you today, the truth always finds a way, and courage begets courage, which we know is happening as a result of these reports, because people are coming forward to us. Now, for the first time, I'm going to take you on a tour inside the buildings on Epstein Island in a series of video reports. We'll be dropping more soon. Support us and continue to look for our next breaking news on our website at o'keefemediagroup.com. Subscribe and you will get our reports first. And if you are one of the courageous ones who wants to tell the truth and shame the devil, reach out to us on our signal at 914-491-9395. Stay tuned. O'Keefe Media.
All right. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing there. Having the picture of the baby in the sink. Why? And of course, there's that Picasso painting in the background of that picture, which I guess that painting is all about drowning or saving drowning young people or something of that effect. I believe it is. It's some kind of obscure meaning to it, but it's all about drowning children. Then you have the baby in the sink mounted right over the little corner breakfast nook area in that kitchen. Kind of strange. But you know what's weird about that is there's a lot of connections to that. Let's take his that temple that's so famous where it's up on that hill all by itself. You know, they're claiming that there's several floors below that. That's just a opening to get down to the lower levels. Now, hopefully, if that's the case, maybe James O'Keefe has some video of that or pictures. I'm kind of curious to see that. It'd be interesting to see what's in that underground bunker, as you would say. You know what's weird about that temple on that island is Ellen DeGeneres' backdrop of her talk show that she had. It was a close to the same exact image, including with palm trees and all, of that temple on Epstein Island. Kind of unusual, wouldn't you think? And then, you know, remember in the first term, she claimed she was going to leave the country and never did. And then now she's indicated in the P. Diddy scandal, which is about depravity and just gross pornographic, drug-induced whatever. And yet she's probably have something to do with Epstein Island. This time she moved. Curious. But I've been saying that for a little while about Ellen DeGeneres and that pictorial of the temple up on the hill that's in her backdrop of her old talk show. Maybe James O'Keefe has something on that. That'd be interesting. I don't like the fact that he's dropping these little small clips every week, just dragging this out. I get it. He needs clicks. This is how they make a living. But I'm old. I'm wanting to see something now. I don't want to see something that takes 6 months to get rolled out. You know, my time is limited, man. I need to see this stuff right now. Just like all these arrests and these people getting charged, these politicians, I want to see it right now. Right now. Not next year. Right now. You know, they charge and arrest enough Democrats, they won't have, you know how they say we have that slim margin? Shoot, if they're in jail, they won't be able to vote. So guess what happens to the margin? It separates to our benefit. Sorry, I'm reading the chat real quick. Reading Libby's chat here. Yeah. Ellen DeGeneres has been looking bad for a long time as far as her guilt of a lot of things. Yeah, Libby. Fellow Springfielder right there. Appreciate you coming in. I haven't seen you in a while. Of course, I've not really been on YouTube that much. I'm on Rumble. I do most of my stuff on Rumble now, guys. Those who are watching this on YouTube. Some things you're not going to see on YouTube because you just can't. So, like, I'll have to edit this when I'm done to be able to play it on YouTube. I'll have 24 hours to do it. Otherwise, they'll tell me to delete it. So, with that, that's just a little update with the old O'Keefe deal. It's not really a whole lot. I want to see more. Oh, and MAGA Radio, you don't have a pet rock. I think you meant pet cock. Just saying, I think you misspelled that in your chat. So if you're gonna be in my chat, spell stuff correctly. What else do I have today? I don't have much. Like I said, I've been out of the loop. I've been doing other things. You know, let's talk about President Trump being over in Saudi Arabia and the grandness of his how they greeted him over there compared to how they greeted President Biden. Completely different in respect. Completely different. And then it seems like every time, because Trump did it in his last administration when he was president last time, I went over there and made a deal with him and was able to lock down a large sale for American products, military, but a lot of money. This time, they were working on a deal for what, $500 billion, and now it's going to be higher than that. That's pretty good. Seems like everywhere Trump goes, he makes us money. Have you noticed that? And for all those people who are whining and bitching about their 401ks in the stock market, and Trump don't know what he's doing, these tariffs, he's going to throw us into a depression. And of course, we all said this on this platform. Killer Carl, hell, even Tyler, after he got done coming out of the closet, he even said it, I do believe. Calm down. This stuff will work itself out. And what did it do? It worked itself out. All this hyperbole, all this, running out of a burning house because Trump set it on fire. Ye with little faith. That's all I'm saying. You got to have more faith in the man. Because inflation has dropped. It's down to the levels it was just after Biden took, because, it was super low level when Biden took over. And then it started creeping up, but it was still kind of low in his first 3 or 4 months. So we're to that level as far as inflation, which compared to where we've been in the last 4 years, it's a good place to be. Want it to be better. It will be. Gas prices have dropped. Stock market is back up to where it was, and I think in some cases it's even above that in some markets. This is all good news, right? So why are their Dems so fucking pissed off? Why are they so angry? All these things is good for the country. Why are they so mad? And why did they not give 1 ounce of gives a shit when the southern border was wide open, but yet they want to fight? They want to fight hard about these people being removed out of the country when they should have never been allowed in the first place. And yet, in the American people's lives are starting to improve, and we'll notice a difference. I said it before. We'll notice a difference by fall. People are so worried about energy prices this fall. I've been saying we're going to have a really good winter when it comes to energy prices. Better than we've seen in a long time. Got to have a little faith. Trump's the man. Got to stick with him. Most of MAGA were, what I like about MAGA is people like to say cult. They like to throw that word around, cult. Well, Democrats are definitely a cult. MAGA is not. We have points of interest, differences, points of view, but yet we still have a unity that we're all working towards the same goal, which is to make this country great again. And a lot of people like to throw a racial indication against that. It is not. When I hear that, and it's what I've always heard when I've heard that, is back to the time when this country was making stuff. Back when everybody in the world wanted something that said made in the USA. Back when the federal government's budget was fueled by the middle class, not by the top 10%. That makes America great again. And also allowing the possibility of sometime in the future of being able to have one of the parents stay home and actually raise their children. They talk about all this free child care and all this other stuff, or at least government assisted child care. Well, how about just making it affordable that a family can live off one income, or one income and a half, a part-time job, whatever. Something that's better than what we have now. So that one of the parents can stay home and raise their kids. Not throw them in front of a TV when they get out of school, or not throw them in child care. And then if they are old enough to school, not throw them into school and not paying attention to what's going on in the school where they're getting indoctrinated, to where if you have a parent that's actually at home raising their children they can go to school and get involved, and when they see something that they don't like, they can speak up and say, hey, you'll not teach that shit to my child. And I'll organize the rest of these parents and make sure that if you keep doing it, you're going to be out of a job. That's what makes America great again. Best job you can have in the world, and it's the most important job, is raising the next generation. And not shipping them in here from all these third world countries to raise our population up. The word abortion needs to be a bad word again. Now, I ain't saying, I don't think it'll ever go to be that it won't be allowed in this country, but it should be how even Clinton said it a long, long time ago. Rare. Rare. It should be something that's very rare. But we'll see. It takes time. It takes us to stay involved, be part of the process. Work it out. If you can take time off to go do something, volunteer, work somewhere, or protest somewhere, or go to these town hall meetings if you can, and ask the right questions and expect the right answers. And then let them know that if it's not the right answer, they're going to get primaried out. And we're going to put somebody in place that will give us the right answer. I know it's a lot to ask. It's a lot to do. I get it. I do. I get it. Trust me. I struggle myself all the time. But I want to also, the deal with the plane being gifted to our government. They're acting like it's being gifted to President Trump himself or one of his family members. We've accepted gifts from other countries before. This country has. And they're talking like they have to disassemble the damn plane all the way down to its last nut and bolt to make sure there's no spyware on there. We have technology that can scan that plane to figure that shit out. I think it's plus we would also enter our own tech in there and not rely on somebody else's tech. I say there's nothing wrong with it. This Chuck Schumer getting on CNN and MSNBC talking about it's the worst thing, the worst security threat he's ever seen is to accept a plane that the president flies on from another country. That's right, Dave. We got Statue of Liberty from another country. We've had stuff gifted to us before. Out of respect. Out of respect. When we get gifted something, it's usually from out of respect. And it's only temporary. Because they're doing some kind of refitting here in the near future to Air Force Ones. So, because there's more than one. So, it's another one of those fake stories, fake outrage. Everything this president does, there's something wrong with it, according to the Democrats. Well, I say fuck them. They can kiss our ass. He's doing what we voted him in to do. Don't regret it. I don't think anybody I've ever talked to regrets it. I think when we mention President Trump, at least 80% of the time we get a smile out of somebody. We don't get spit on anymore. I don't get flipped off. If I'm wearing the wrong hat, I don't get none of that. Now, if you live in a blue area, you may get that. I can't help that. That's where you have to, in your area, you have to fight back and make your area a red area. That's on you guys. But hopefully there's enough of you that'll turn out to vote to make sure we stay in power through the midterms. Because if not, the agenda's over with, guys. They're going to impeach him from day one, as soon as the midterm's over with. And this whole thing stops. Can't have that. But anyways, this is a short live stream. I'm done. I just want to jump on here and opine on a couple things. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to do a little bit more dive into the Saudi Arabia visit and some more on this South African situation. So I appreciate you all stopping in. This is James, Empty Pockets Podcast. Don't forget, if you don't catch me on my daily live stream, catch me Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes I'll have guests on there and we'll shoot the shit and talk about whatever's going on in current events. And also, don't forget Movie Mondays. And I got something coming. I'm trying to work out something. I've got Rumble Premium. I have to do 5 hours a month. So if you got Rumble Premium, I'll bring content that's only for you guys. And I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. I got a couple ideas. So I'll get that figured out this week. Maybe do that this weekend or first part of next week. But until then, this is James, Empty Pockets Podcast. I'm out of here.